Have you ever thought, there's got to be a better and simpler way to learn organizational strategies? 5 Minutes Learning has a global and diverse collection of case studies to help management students. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our upcoming and interesting case studies. Today, we're taking a delightful journey back in time to explore the fascinating story of Nestlé, a household name known for everything from baby formula to chocolate bars. Nestlé's origin story is unlike any other, involving two continents, a passion for milk, and a rivalry that ultimately led to the birth of a global empire. Also, did you know that Nestlé's journey started with two visionaries on opposite sides of the globe? So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of Nestlé. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Our story begins in the 19th century with Charles Page, a U.S. consul, who visited Switzerland. Imagine Switzerland in the 1800s, a land of Swiss cows and lush meadows. Charles Page was captivated by Switzerland's dairy potential. Switzerland had been a hub for milk production, attracting those with a penchant for dairy. Charles had a vision, which is condensed milk. Condensed milk, a revolutionary product that could be easily stored and transported. In 1866, with his brother George Page, he founded the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company in Switzerland's charming town of Cham. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in Vevey, Switzerland, another pioneer was at work. Henri Nestlé, a local pharmacist in Vevey, Switzerland, was brewing up his own experiments. In the 1860s, Switzerland faced a grim challenge: infant mortality. Witnessing the struggles of premature babies, Henri concocted Farine Lactée in 1867, an infant formula made from cow's milk, wheat flour, and sugar. This innovation was a game-changer, with sales skyrocketing globally. Nestlé's logo, a bird's nest, symbolized the company's commitment to nurturing. By 1873, Nestlé's Farine Lactée was flying off the shelves worldwide. Henry's little venture had gone big. To represent his family name, he chose a bird's nest for his company logo, a symbol that endures today. In 1875, Henri retired, passing the reins to local businessmen. Meanwhile, across Europe, the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company had its eyes on Nestlé's success. They launched a rival infant formula, igniting a fierce industry rivalry marked by price wars and cutthroat strategies. To Nestlé, this was nothing less than a declaration of industry war. The battle raged for 3 decades until the deaths of Henri, George, and Charles. In 1905, with both companies bleeding profits, they decided to end the feud. Nestlé and Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company joined forces, birthing the Nestlé we know today. Again, another challenge arose for Nestlé. As World War I erupted in 1914, Nestlé faced initial hardship, struggling to maintain supplies and distribution in war-torn Europe. However, the conflict brought a unique opportunity. With milk in high demand due to the war effort, governments worldwide sought contracts with major milk producers. Nestlé capitalized on these contracts, not only recovering but rapidly expanding. Despite the war's initial hardships, Nestlé emerged stronger. The demand for milk during World War I propelled its growth. Nestlé built over 40 factories worldwide, doubling its production. In 1918, World War I finally ended. The fighting did stop, but the unstable economic situation the world was in couldn't be fixed easily. Nestlé's government contracts were up, and it found itself among the many companies facing the force of the crisis. To add to their difficulties, consumers who had shifted to condensed milk during the war shifted back to fresh milk as supply resumed. The company went into a loss for the first time in 1921. At that point, sales were down, and production costs were high for Nestlé. Its operations needed an overhaul to reach sustainability. For this purpose, a Swiss banker named Louis Dappels was tasked with reorganizing the company. He not only balanced production and sales but also helped Nestlé clear its debt, keeping the company afloat. Nestlé started as a milk company but soon realized it needed to diversify to thrive. In the 1920s, they embarked on a series of acquisitions, including the iconic Kohler Swiss Chocolate Company. Chocolate became a cornerstone of Nestlé's offerings, alongside malted milk, Milo, and powdered buttermilk for kids. The chocolate business was going well for Nestlé, but they were yet to launch the product that would change the company's future forever. In 1930, the Brazilian Coffee Institute approached the company with a unique problem. Brazil had a huge surplus of coffee, but there was no real demand or use at the time. Nestlé was up for a challenge. After 8 years of research, they brewed up something special: Nescafé, the world's first instant-soluble coffee. This innovation changed the game and paved the way for other favorites like Nestea. There was immense potential in Nescafé, but at the same time, Nestlé began to experience the severe impacts of World War II even before it broke into a worldwide conflict. The company's revenues nosedived from $20 million in 1938 to $6 million in 1939. Although Switzerland remained neutral in both world wars, the situation in Europe was highly volatile, and business could not be conducted normally. Again, Nestlé looked toward America by shifting its base of operations to Connecticut, far away from the conflict. Their previous experience during World War I had allowed the company to form healthy relationships with the States, which helped them settle in. Unfortunately, the USA could not stay away from the war for too long and joined the Allies in 1941. Lucky for them, Nescafé became a staple for the US military. Nestlé sent tons and tons of Nescafé to the front lines and managed to turn around their sales completely. They catapulted sales from $6 million in 1939 to $225 million in 1945. Nestlé's experience after World War I teaches us valuable lessons. Customer preferences and market conditions can change rapidly. Companies must stay flexible, innovate, and explore new horizons to thrive. Post-World War I, Nestlé seized the moment. With Nescafé and Nestea soaring, they embarked on an acquisition spree, adding brands like Maggi to their portfolio. This era is often called Nestlé's most dynamic period. The journey for this soup and noodles company started somewhat around the same time as that of Henri Nestlé. Its founder, Julius Maggi, shared the same vision of serving nutritious yet convenient foods to the public. After the war, in 1947, Maggi went through a number of restructurings and changes in leadership. Consequently, the best way for the company to move forward was to join hands with Nestlé. Their established factories in numerous countries introduced the Maggi brand to the world, and it became a sensation. Especially in Asia, where it became synonymous with instant noodles. In the 1970s, Nestlé ventured beyond food. They acquired L'Oréal, a Parisian cosmetics company. Since L'Oréal was established in 1909, this company has gone from making hair dyes to a full range of cosmetic care products. It has also formed a loyal customer base in France. With big plans, Nestlé offered the family owners of L'Oréal a 3% stake in Nestlé in return for a 50% share. The offer was too attractive to refuse, and the two companies entered into a new partnership. This diversification paid off for Nestlé handsomely. The cosmetic arena wasn't the only one Nestlé aimed to capture. There was an economic slowdown and general volatility between the French and Swiss markets. The price of cocoa and coffee went up more than 3 times. Nestlé decided to take a risk and leap into waters it had never been in before. In 1977, it also became the owner of the American pharmaceutical company, Alcon. This, too, was a success, with the brand operating in 75-plus countries and being sold in more than twice that number. In 1984, Nestlé made headlines with a $3 billion deal to acquire Carnation, a food company with a diverse portfolio, including pet food. Rowntree McIntosh brought Kit Kat and Smarties into the Nestlé family in 1988. Meanwhile, they introduced Nespresso, a premium coffee experience. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Do not forget to subscribe this YouTube channel for receiving updates about my upcoming case study videos.